Yo, what's happening, y'all? We're back, super dudes. I am the super one, and he is.
You can call me King JTH.
All right, and we're here to talk about some super topics today. So lay back and relax and enjoy our topics we have for today. All right, I'll go first, and then you can go. Okay.
Okay.
So I have a thought, and it's probably very unlikely, but I just think it's interesting to bring up just because it's unlikely, like I said 2 times already, but I'm still interested in talking about it. Star Wars. Star Wars has had a major downfall after, well, it almost did after the trilogy. Sorry about that. The prequels nearly destroyed the IP Star Wars, but then a decade later, Disney buys Lucasfilms for 4 billion, I believe, and they start making movies. Right? They plan a whole trilogy, and The Force Awakens. Well, that was a really great start to that new trilogy, and people wanted to have that kind of momentum going into the next movie. But by the time the Last Jedi came out, everything changed. There was the Star Wars fandom was cut in half like toxic fans and the other ones who aren't as toxic. And it got a little worse from there after the rise of Skywalker, which was very humiliating and just overall one of the dumbest ever blockbusters of all time. Despite all that, I still wonder: can Star Wars still have a comeback? Can it go back to the spotlight, the glory days of the '70s films, like '70s/'80s? Like the original Star Wars came out in the '70s, and the sequels came out, and the other two sequels came out in the '80s. But I'm wondering if Star Wars had a comeback, it would probably take a long time. Like, what do you think, Javante, about Star Wars?
I have not watched Star Wars in a while. Um, it's something that I briefly watched as a kid. I might have watched like a few movies, and there's also a thing called the Mandela effect.
Mm-hmm.
Um, it's the Mandela effect is you perceive something differently, uh, and one thing that I saw maybe a few weeks ago is there was a debate on whether or not Darth Vader actually said, "I am your father."
Mm-hmm. Something like that.
So I I don't know if I would have had the time because I cover other things. But I would have to do the research to actually recall if he said that or not.
Yeah. Yeah. Like Star Wars, of course, the original trilogy is one of the greats of all time. But after the prequel trilogy, the IP almost fell off completely. But it didn't fall off too completely. Like it fell off a little bit, I would say. And I feel like that Star Wars, well, can it have more great projects? Because don't get me wrong, there have been great projects. Andor, that series with the kids that was like Goonies inspired. Those are all great, and I kind of feel bad that that show wasn't watched, and it kind of bombed on Disney Plus. So I kind of feel a little bad because I know that was a good show, and but there's a lot of misfires on Star Wars right now, and I'm not sure if they can get back to the glory, like I've said, the glory days, because Star Wars was like changed cinema history, like that was because well, it was this banger, it was this amazing blockbuster that, like I said, changed everything in the movie sphere. and now in the present and in the current state of Star Wars, it's just probably gonna get worse down the line. So overall, I'm thinking maybe, but not likely. What do you think if you caught up with Star Wars?
I I have two questions for you. My first question is there anything that you think uh, Star Wars does in the modern day better than they did in the past?
Probably not, because I just don't know what's better than the original trilogy of Star Wars. It's impossible. Those movies are masterful. So I don't know. Probably not.
And my second question would be, when you watched Star Wars when you was a kid, do you remember Darth Vader saying, "I am your father," or you do not recall that?
It's been a long time, but I know it. I know I remember it because
I'm pretty sure he did.
I did, because it's one of the most iconic twists of all time. So of course it would have to be it. So of course I would have to remember it, and I do. And everyone remembers it, and I'm saying that I do remember it. And I just think that now Star Wars has just gone off a crazy downfall, and I don't know if it will get back up fully or fully recover. Probably won't ever. But anyway, guys, let us know what you think about it. Star Wars could possibly make a comeback, yes or no, and let us know in the comments and let us know your thoughts.
I do remember this. May the 4th be with you.
Yeah, that's Star Wars Day.
I was never a big Star Wars fan, but I didn't dislike it neither.
Yeah.
It's just that if it was on, I might have watched it. I might have not. But I will say this. I do not remember certain parts of the movie. I do not remember.
It's okay.
I remember like Luke Skywalker, things of that nature.
Okay. Well, anyway, let us know what you guys think about it, and moving on to the next topic. You can go, Javante.
Okay. What biases and narratives do you think not only the media but social media and online platforms push?
Like what do you mean by that? Like how they push boundaries?
I mainly talk about sports, but I hope this cross comparison will give you an idea of what I'm trying to say. So one debate that's big in the sports world is who's the greatest of all time.
Yeah.
LeBron or Jordan. Do you think a lot of people make the debate based off of bias, based off of who they like more, or based off of who they seen, instead of actually doing research about both players and about how things were back then versus back now, what they accomplished, things of that nature, to come up with their own conclusion.
Yeah. I don't think. Well,
I hope you get what I'm trying to.
Yeah, like debate. Like, do people like?
They only show one side. They might show something negative about Michael Jordan,
or LeBron.
or LeBron, or only show positive about one and positive about the other, instead of showing, based off of what they know, the full picture.
Yeah, like I feel like you would have to be a true basketball fan if you really.
It's a cross analogy for other things, because that for other topics. So whatever you like is I know you like Star Wars. You think it's like an inherent. So do you think it's like an inherent bias of, oh, everything was better back in the 2000s when it comes to Star Wars, because that's when I grew up watching it?
Yeah, like I feel like people like are it depends on like where you were born or like how you feel about like or there's a lot in my mind that I want to get off. Like, let me just think for a sec. Like, I think it depends on like how you interpret something, like how you interpret Michael Jordan or Star Wars or LeBron James, like we were talking about. Like do your research. Like sometimes, like people can like. There's lots of things about people that we don't know about fully, but they do tell us a good chunk of it. Like Michael Jordan and LeBron James. Michael Jordan went on to be a businessman, but he wasn't the greatest businessman of all time. That doesn't mean he wasn't the greatest basketball player anymore. People have different weaknesses and skills, and I think you have to interpret how you feel about the person, like whether you hate them or you love them. And I think it all depends on how you feel about it. Like, what do you think?
Yeah, I think there's definitely inherent bias in certain things is, but at the same time, no human being knows no human being knows the full story most of the time.
Yeah.
So I go based off of not only what I've seen, but based off of what I already know.
Yeah.
And if I feel like there's a piece of information that is intentionally not being shown, I might do more research until I can find all the information that I need.
Yeah. Like people need to like collect enough data for themselves to like understand the whole narrative of the person or anything. But anyway, let us know what you guys think about this. Jump in the comments below and let us know, and let us know your thoughts. Thank you. All right, I'm gonna go next. Just give me a sec. So public schools. Public schools are like they have lots of great. They're great for people, but sometimes they're not great for people. Like what I mean by that is that there's lots of fights. There's like becoming vaping. There's probably alcohol there, but alcohol is probably unlikely. But they smoke. Probably just do a lot of weird stuff in where in a private where privacy is. Like if you know what I mean, it's kind of like the
Yeah, I get what you're saying.
Yeah. So, and there's lots of gun shootings, and it's become so common with public schools that sometimes I worry for my friends and people that I know that might happen to them. Probably doesn't bother them too much. Maybe it will. I'm not sure. I mean, sometimes I see them, but they never talk about their school life, and I don't think, and they shouldn't. It's their personal life, but sometimes I do worry, it's just a little scary when kids like that bring in dangerous material, like that's unlawful and completely unethical, and it just sucks that we're in that state with public schools now. People are like saying death threats to each other, and it's just terrible. Like, what do you think about these situations?
Well, what I think is, I think a lot of people, they have a hard time. Some people have a hard time not only communicating,
Yeah.
but coping.
Mm-hmm.
And I think to a certain degree, I'm not saying all people, towards certain degree,
Mm-hmm.
some people are more afraid than they pursue. You know, some people put on a persona that, oh, I can withstand this. I can do it all.
Yeah.
And I think because of that past, that for some people it's hard to really open up and actually build a strong relationship with somebody that
Yeah.
they can trust.
Yeah. That is true. Like people, sometimes it's hard to know when you're trusting a public school because there's hundreds of kids. They never know what they're gonna do. And it's scary. Like there's like lots of swearing, violence, fights, knives being brought into schools. Sometimes kids get even killed in public schools, whether by being shot or just being stabbed. And it just sucks that public school has become that. Like, so there's part of me that wishes I could go back in time and revisit the old days of high school because I know for a fact that they didn't have that kind of behavior at schools, at public schools. And it just sucks that people are just like this these days, that they're making dumb decisions. I just wish sometimes people could just respect one another, but they make it like, they overcomplicate the situation and it just turns into chaos. So it just sucks that that's the current state we live in right now, and I don't know if it will get better or worse. I kind of predict it will get worse, but I could be wrong. I hope I'm wrong. Like, what do you predict about that?
Well, I pray for the best, and I do the best to make situations
Yeah.
the best way possible.
Yeah.
And what we were saying earlier, I totally understand that being from Baltimore, you have to be careful where you being from the city. You have to be careful of not only where you go but who you surround yourself with.
Mm.
So that's the best advice that I can give is that be careful of who you're around and who you surround yourself
Yeah.
with.
Yeah, that's for sure. Well, we'll see.
Because another reality is we can't be everywhere as well.
Yeah, that's true. So,
We can only make make a difference in where we can only make a difference for what we see in front of us.
Yeah, that's for sure, and hopefully that people can just see that. Well, anyway, let us know what you guys think about this super topic and jump into the comments. And before we continue, I want you to remember to like and share the videos so we can do a whole lot more. And you wouldn't want us to go away, would we? If we do better, then you'll get more topics that we'll gather more topics to talk about. Thank you, and let's continue. Okay, your turn, Javante. You want to go?
What do you think are the pros and cons of media?
That's a good question. Like, excuse me. Like, you could look at it both ways. Like, there are a bunch of pros and cons. Like people's creativity, but there's a lot of cons to that because people want to steal your creativity, and media can sometimes be a train wreck. But still, media is something where people could communicate with one another, but communication like on social media has been kind of isn't going well, and people are just sending death threats to one another these days. So there's a bunch of pros and cons I can go over it, but I don't want to hold up the time like this. So that's what I think. But what do you think about that?
Yeah, it depends on how you use it.
Yeah.
How my style is, I speak on based off of the information that I know. I try my hardest to look at as much information on any topic that I'm give. Look at as much information as possible before I come up with a conclusion. And if I think what a lot of people struggle with is if you don't know something or you're unsure. A lot of people are try to still say something about it instead of clarifying that.
That's actually
I
yours.
personally, instead of clarifying, I personally would have to go back and look at certain things, or go back and do research before I can give an informed conclusion. I think a lot of people are nervous to do that, and I see I can I have a capability, like I can disagree or debate somebody without really being hostile.
Yeah, that's for sure. 100%.
So I think the pro of it would be to utilize it to
For full potential. Or what do you think?
utilize it to make a positive impact in your community. I think the cons would be to use it to intimidate people.
Yeah, that's true. Like, people just want to mess with people all over the place. Like, we were talking about public schools, but media is a lot different. People just want to mess with you, steal your ideas and your success. And there's a lot of people that still do that these days. It's just crazy and all over the place. I feel terrible for those people that probably lost homes, and because of that, probably very rare that I say that, but still, I just hope. But I think, I feel like there will be there's a lot of pros and cons to this that I could go over, but like I said, I don't want to hold the time, but I just think that something like this is just worth having a whole conversation about. And I just think that media should just be like used to like really like put you in stardom, make you feel like you belong, and just feel like you're capable of doing whatever it takes. Like, it's just crazy that people are like trying to steal other people's media and other things about them. It's just all over the place, like all that, and I don't know how better we'll get, but we'll see how it goes. Anyway, guys, question is for you. What do you?
And another thing is, I think some people they try to not to admit, I was inspired by how this person what this person did before me. Like, as far as media goes, somebody that I see today that inspires me is Stephen A. Smith. I sing every now and then. What inspired me is, I don't know if you ever heard the song Fantasy, but on the song, one of the lyrics was, "All your dreams will come true,
Yeah.
miles away."
Yeah.
And I want to be able to consistently hit that note just like the note was hit on that song. Even we were on Power 4.4 radio.
Yeah.
I don't really take rapping seriously, but what encouraged me to do it, I don't know if you remember Dr. Ted Sutton when he
Yeah.
freestyled on there.
For sure.
That kind of encouraged me to do it.
Yeah.
And I think certain people take things more seriously than others. Like the speaking part of media, like I really take seriously. Singing, I would take seriously. Dancing, I would take seriously, but the rap part would just be fun, just to say something, entertaining.
Yeah, that's for sure. Well, let us know. Well, back to what I was saying. Well, you do bring up great points, but and you're right about a lot of those things. So it's very interesting to think about that you brought that up. But anyway, let us know what you guys think. Jump in the comments below, like and share, as I say again, and let us know in the comments below. All right, moving on. I go again, and then Javante will go, and then I will go again, and then we'll be good. Okay. So I have an interesting topic that might be cool. There are two MJs, right? You know the MJs, right?
Michael Jordan and Michael Jackson.
Yeah. Two of the goats of. Well, one of them is the goat of
music and sports.
Exactly. And so I just think it's interesting to think about that there's two MJs that pretty much are like the goats about music and sports.
I'm shocked that more 90s kids was not named Michael. Cause in the 90s, Michael Jordan was the greatest, the best basketball player in the world, and Michael Jackson was the biggest. Yes, correct.
Yeah, they'll always be greatest, but like we were saying in our previous topics, there's still debate. Is LeBron James or Michael Jordan the true GOAT in basketball? To me, I still think Michael Jordan will still be the GOAT of all time, and I don't think LeBron has done enough. Like, he's done a lot, but I don't think he's done enough that makes me go, oh wait, now you're the true GOAT of basketball. But what I wanted to talk about was, like, in terms of talent, who has the best? Like Michael Jordan or Michael Jackson, like their talents and what they brought.
Ooh, that is very interesting. If we talking about natural raw talent, I would give it to Michael Jackson. You can't teach that singing ability, that dancing ability, and
that magical voice.
And he was doing it when he was a kid.
In the Jackson 5.
Michael Jordan, he was always good at basketball, but he was still developing when he was earlier on. So when it comes to the GOAT debate, I always say that it's specifically between Jordan and LeBron.
Yeah.
I always say Michael Jordan is the greatest because it seems like in debates they focus on how good you were at your peak and what you accomplished.
Yeah.
relative to Aaron, competition. Even in the NBA,
For sure.
in the 80s and 90s, you had well over 20 teams. You had all time great centers, things of that nature. And in the new NBA, you had 30 teams. You had years where it was more like Eastern Conference was more competitive, things of that nature. I don't want to go in too in depth because I'm also going to talk about specifically Michael Jackson and Chris Brown. I think you can really make an argument. I think that's the same thing. Like I think Michael Jackson is the greatest, and I'm not saying Chris Brown is more talented than Michael Jackson, but I think it's up for debate. I truly think that he's probably just as talented as far. I think Michael Jackson can dance a little bit better.
Yeah.
I think Michael Jackson can sing a little bit better.
Dance?
Yes, I mentioned that.
Yeah, you did, right.
But Chris Brown can also rap. And I do think if certain things didn't happen earlier on in his career,
Yeah.
I do think he probably would have surpassed Michael Jackson. And when it as far as being the greatest, even though I might have a different opinion tomorrow. I might say I still think Michael Jackson is a little bit more talented, but I really think Chris Brown has that argument. But as far as the GOAT debate goes about it, I do think that certain things didn't happen. He could have surpassed Michael Jackson or be just as big.
Yeah, but it's because of the allegations he wasn't.
And I feel like if certain things didn't happen earlier on in LeBron's career, specifically his first stint in Miami and the last few seasons in Cleveland, I think LeBron could have reached that status, or at least like the nitpicking would be harder to nitpick certain parts of LeBron's career. Like the 2007 finals, or when Kevin Durant went to the Warriors, even if he wasn't undefeated, but I still think there would still be a debate.
Yeah, for sure. I think there is still a debate. Like, I think there's more of a debate about the GOAT of basketball more than the true GOAT of pop or music, I should say. But I think Michael Jordan and Michael Jackson, like in terms of like Michael Jordan, he was a rough player. He was tough out there. He did not hold back for basketball. He went all in, and he'd sometimes get frustrated with the other players on the opposite team. And it was just crazy. Like, he did not hold back at all. He's willing to do whatever it takes to become a true champ. And he ended up being something like he ended up being that. And I think that LeBron is kind of different because he doesn't hold back, but I don't think he holds back as much as Michael Jordan because he just wants to just give it his all. And Michael Jordan's like, I'm gonna go all out and be the biggest GOAT of all time basketball, like something like that. And I just think it's interesting to think about. Like, what do you think about that?
Can you repeat the question?
I feel like despite Chris Brown and Michael Jackson in terms of that. I don't think it's nearly as talked about as Michael Jordan and LeBron James. Like, I feel like Michael Jordan, he was
Yeah.
tough out there. Like, he did not hold back. Like, he would sometimes get in big arguments with the players, and like he was kind of a train wreck out there.
Yeah, I think because of how Chris Brown's career kind of wound up going, but with him and Michael Jackson, it would be more of a who's more talented debate versus who's greater.
Yeah.
Yeah, and yeah, it kind of goes back to what we were saying earlier about certain biases. Even people that do it, like some you know, we talking about rap. Some people, you know, this guys that they mentioned, like different guys, Tupac, Eminem. Some people might even mention Kendrick, but I'll say in most industries, not all, you ask who you think the greatest of all time is, they're gonna say somebody else.
Yeah. That's definitely true.
Like, I'm pretty sure you ask Michael Jordan, he the GOAT. He might say he the GOAT, but he might say somebody else. Or even when Michael Jackson was alive, you ask him who's the greatest, he might say he's the greatest, or he might say somebody else.
Yeah.
I think a lot of the times they look at it as like, I was the greatest during this time.
Yeah, for sure.
So I think what Michael Jordan would look at it, how he would look at it is, I was the greatest in the 90s.
But maybe I'm not the greatest anymore.
No, you basically like, I was the greatest when I played. Like, I didn't play this person, I didn't play that person.
Yeah.
Things of that nature. Like, even thought, you know, we have wave radio, but even let's say I get into the level of like somebody like Ricky Smiley or like Stephen A. Smith, somebody like that. I know people might say, "Oh, he's the GOAT." But even if I agree with them, I'm gonna be like, "Well, everything as far as this particular field that I know, I studied how this person did it."
Yeah, you did. You'd study how they did it, how they became that, and all of it.
In most situations, you like, most people, when they feel that they pursue, they or at least they should study how at least a variety of people do things, and you know, try to come up with their own style with it.
Yeah. Well, that's pretty. It's a lot to take in. But anyway, guys, let us know what you think about this. Let us know in the comments below. And like I said, this is for the third time, and then I'll shut up, I promise. Like and share the video. You can share it with your friends, family, and anybody you want. And let us know what you think.
I guess I'd do another basketball comparison. Kobe Bryant. Now, he didn't quite get to Michael Jordan, but he really studied everything Michael Jordan did, because at that time Michael Jordan was the best basketball player in the world, and that's how Kobe Bryant was able to be the best player on 2 championship Los Angeles Lakers teams.
Yeah, that's for sure. All right, then. You want to do your topic? You go next, and I'll do my last.
My next topic is, how do you think with media, do you think they focus more on the informational side, or focus more on the viewership side, or focus on more the entertainment side, or you think they equally focus on all three?
maybe viewership, because media can get you money. It can get you lots of money, and that's what the world's about. You gotta make money. Well, most of it is. I'm not saying all of it is, but I feel like people care more about views because they're gonna give you the money every time you watch it. Well, at least if enough people watch it. I'm not saying if you go into the views. Like, I feel like the amount of views is the amount of money the person gets when they post something or when they upload a video or something like that. I think they just care about the money. But I'm not saying that there's no entertainment. Like, entertainment, of course, like, people want entertainment. Without entertainment, then the world would kind of be boring without it, and we would just be stuck in politics. And I just feel like that people are trying to come up with the best kinds of entertainment out there, just so they can really so they can just lure in more people for views and see how that goes. But what do you think about that?
I think most of the time they are focused on what would get the most attention. At least on social media, you can make a strong argument, like we did before, that a lot of people focus on the negative things, and even if you don't focus on necessarily the negative things, a lot of people focus on what we would call the T.
That's for sure.
So I think a lot of media companies, they know that that's what will get them clicks. So that's what they're going to showcase.
Yeah, that's for sure. That's definitely for sure, because they just want. Sometimes people just want to build people entertainment when people are just like forced to do entertainment for money. Like, there's a complete difference, and I feel like that people are just still trying to come up with the best kinds of entertainment because, you know, we love entertainment. We're nothing but entertainment, and we are something, but we would just be bored and just stuck in this real world, like I said, with politics. And without entertainment, we would get out of that shell for a little bit and just set free to do whatever we wanted for entertainment. And you can do whatever you want with entertainment. Your creativity, your ideas, they can go anywhere. You can do whatever you want, but you make the choice how you want to use it. Because if you make the wrong choice or a good choice, I'm not sure what kind of choice you'll make, whether you want to do it negatively or positively. I mean, if you really just want to do it negatively, then you're just going to turn out as one of the most uninspiring and just money-wanted money starving basically wanting, desiring.
Greed, basically.
Yeah, greed. That's what I was trying to look for. Thank you. Greed. They just want greed. All of it. They want all the money in the world so they can just stay alive for their company and the media. Because without that, then they'll be dead. The media will be dead and all that. What do you think about that?
I think everybody does have a purpose, but certain things you shouldn't let it consume your whole life. So you should have something that you like outside of it, something that you can do for fun.
Yeah.
Certain parts of what we're doing now, I do for fun,
That's for sure.
to entertain, and even outside of this, I sometimes might play basketball just for fun.
Yeah.
Or going on a walk or exercise, things of that nature.
Yeah. You need that. But like we said, we don't know how media is gonna we don't know the true nature of meat or whether it's something bad, negative, or something positive.
Yeah.
We'll have to wait and see what happens. But anyway, guys.
We're just like in the beginning stages of like the field.
Yeah, exactly. That's the feel of it. Whether you feel comfy or not, and if you're not, just don't go on it. The choice is yours. We don't make the choices. You do. But you got time to think about it first. Anyway, guys, let us know what you think about this and jump in the comments and share your thoughts down below.
Bye.
All right, guys.
Oh, before we do, I might as well entertain the audience. I'm not gonna do nothing too crazy. I might do a little dancing. And I'm
Power on.
Do a little song for
The
y'all.
Bluetooth device is ready to pair.
While I dance. I'm the last airbender like I'm Avatar, and you know I go bang, bang, bang. I got the most championships like John Cena. In any field I can hang. I'm multi-talented. I don't ever gotta be a part of no gang. And what I say about that is utilize your strengths to the best of your abilities, and try to utilize that to encourage people in a positive light. So if you see somebody that's not really like taking care of themselves, even you can't verbally, even if you don't know like the right words to verbally tell them, hey, there's a better way. I guess in the best way, showcase them how there's a better way. I'm pretty sure there's been times in a lot of people, I'm not going to say everybody, but a lot of people's times in a lot of people's lives that they needed that from somebody, because we all need somebody to lean on, whether you want to admit it or not.
And well, anyway, guys, that's it. Thank you for watching, and hopefully you're having a good time, and we'll see you next time on Super Dudes.
Power on.
Let me do that again.
The Bluetooth device is ready to pair.
We'll see you next time, and remember, remind you, stay super, because dudes like us never go out of heat. Thank you for watching.
Here we go.